This is training flight number 4 towards my instrument rating. So I'm going to meet me and Ron, again, we both work out at the same place, so we're able to debrief and kind of plan things out during the week. So the plan for today is, like I said earlier, we're going to fly up to Lake Havasu to fly that RNAV approach. This gives us an opportunity to use a couple of different VOR waypoints and practice climbs at constant rate, descends at constant rate, and again, all under the hood just like normal. The other reason to go up to Havasu is, hey, they got a great burger up there at the restaurant. So we'll hit up the restaurant and we'll give you guys a report on the flight back on what we thought of the burger up there. But today, again, I'm starting to feel a lot more comfortable flying under the foggles, mainly because it's starting to feel more and more normal. In fact, I took my son up for a flight this weekend, and it was weird for me not to have the foggles on, which was, again, weird to me that I would ever think that, because I've flown so much VFR and just kind of enjoyed the scenery around me. But this was kind of interesting getting that first real taste of kind of moving from that instrument world back to the VFR world, and just how much you kind of get used to flying with the foggles on, kind of it almost to the point where it's almost like a video game. But I've just finished up the pre-flight. I'm going to go throw some fuel in. Ron should be here in a few minutes, and then we're going to jump in and start this next training flight, which is IFR training flight number 4. As I mentioned in the last video, I did put that new camera on my vest. That is going to be I'm going to term that the GRT cam, because its whole job is to focus on the EFIS and help me really debrief and see the errors and things that I can do better and how I'm using the instrumentation. So one thing I'm really liking about the GRT EFIS is it has all of the capability that I really need for this training. So it's giving me an HSI. I'm able to fly these synthetic approaches. I can put in and modify flight plans on the go through their apps. It really, with the app there, you almost have an MFD on top of having the EFIS there, especially with all the databases being updated. And their database update is actually really easy. They give it to you for free right on their website. So I'm going to jump in the plane, get it fueled up, wait for Ron, and we're going to start training flight number 4.
Alright, again, all the normal pre-flight brief. Land straight ahead if we have an engine problem. Runway remaining, if not, find a spot 30 degrees. If not, if we're on downwind and at pattern altitude, our only choice is to land on one of the county roads or in one of the fields. Yep, alright. Somerton traffic, experimental 8, leaving over left crosswind departure to the north, last call Somerton. Human approach experimental 9018, Lima November with request.
Experimental, was that 918 Lima November?
Yeah, it's 9018 Lima November. We're currently off of Somerton, climbing through 700 for 5,500. Looking flight falling to Havasu. As soon as I hit a Rossi, I'm going to go on to autopilot.
918 Lima November, squawk 4763.
4763, 8 Lima November.
918 Lima November, you got radar contact 6 miles west of Yuma 1300 climbing.
Position checks, 8 Lima November. Hit that waypoint in about a minute, and we'll be on to our next waypoint, which is Yosef. But it should be or about there, I'm guessing. Yeah, so the reason I chose those 2 points is it got me away from the away from the Delta airspace, but then allowed me to go direct onto the Victor airway. Alright, now we're gonna go autopilot. And we're gonna go nav and altitude. Yep, I know where. I've set it so that it won't do an air climb at over 72 knots. So it's just gonna kind of maintain that. It's gonna tell me to trim as needed. And so I've got the autopilot set where it won't, again, if we get to a minimum airspeed, it's gonna hold us there. It's not gonna keep pulling it off. And then the other thing it's going to do is it's going to try to maintain right now 300 foot per minute climb or greater.
Experimental 8 Lima November, contact departure 124.7.
124.7, 8 Lima November. Yuma departure, experimental 918 Lima November, 4,900 climbing.
Experimental 918 Lima November, good morning. You are departure, you altimeter 3007.
3007, 8 Lima November. Coming up on our highway in the sky. So I've set the boxes here, so these are plus or minus 150 feet. That way, if I'm flying on a route, I can tell, hey, am I deviating more than I should in altitude, because it'll show me within that box where I'm at. Yeah.
I want to tighten that up a little.
Yeah, well, I try and fly a lot tighter than that, but yep. But gives me kind of a realistic box to
Bigger
fly.
window to shoot for.
Yeah. Tracking on our way to Blythe, on our way to Parker, and then to Havasu.
So about this time is when my audio cable no longer was recording the in-cockpit audio. But I can assure you it was pretty much a boring flight. Me and Ron just kind of talking back and forth and discussing the approach we were going to do into Havasu. Basically, we did the VOR Alpha approach down to a missed approach, made the turn, and came around for a pretty much uneventful landing on runway 32.
All right. Welcome to Havasu.
Base to traffic indicator 95 turning left base for runway 32.
All right, Ron, what did you think of that approach?
Woo! Sweet! Nice.
A little bit better.
Yeah, yep.
So, need to work on holding the altitude a little bit at the bottom, but I didn't lose it too bad. Maybe 40, 50 feet. So.
Yep.
All right, let's go get some food.
It was all news.
Yep. All right. All right, Ron, Hangar 24, what's your opinion of the burger?
Mine is pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yep, cooked well. Nice.
And you know, it was interesting is it wasn't excessively expensive either, because most times you go to a place like this, it's like a $30 burger.
Yeah.
It was only $15 for that, bacon Swiss burger, so not worth it.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's head on back to Yuma.
Alright, so we just finished eating. Head back to Yuma. Havasu traffic, experimental 8 Lima November is going to line up and wait runway 32. It's on final, wait for him to clear. As soon as he clears, we'll depart. As always, if it's got remaining runway and the engine quits, we'll land straight ahead. If not, we'll land 30 degrees side to side. If high enough, we'll attempt to return back to the runway. If not, we'll find the smoothest road to land on.
A little bit of a left crosswind. Want to have some aileron into the wind.
Yep.
Keep us from skipping across the runway.
Yep. Come on, call that you're clear, good. Dude.
Have the traffic 739, you for November's down and clear of 32, Alpha 2, have it 2.
Havasu traffic, experimental 8 limit number, taking off runway 32, Havasu. You're on the floor. Havasu traffic, experimental 8 limit number, departing the area to the west, Havasu. Okay, less than a minute, we'll be over the bar at VOR.
8 Lima November, request no delay for traffic departing Yuma.
Would you like us to head inbound, or would you rather us to do the turn?
You can go ahead and do the turn, just request no delay.
Roger, 8 Lima November. So we'll do the no delay turn right now. How's that? Sure. So start the timer, please. Alright, what heading are you go to? About 3... we're going to go down to, sorry, about 315. About 315, yeah.
And 8 Lima November, continue holding over BART if you can, climb maintain 3000.
Maintain 3000, 8 Lima November. Alright, so that needs to be like almost a full power.
And 8 Lima November, can you take vectors to Somerton now?
Yeah, we can do vectors to Somerton, 8 Lima November.
8 Lima November, turn left heading 190.
190, 8 Lima November. I guess we can't get it into that idea today. Oh, either way, we're getting vectors to Somerton.
Slayer 01, turn right heading 270. Slayer 01, amendment to your climb out on the go, 700 feet VFR until 3 miles past the northeastern field boundary, then continue on runway heading, climb maintain 3000.
That's that one. Here's some point.
8 Lima November, contact tower 19.3.
Over tower 93, 8 Lima November. And I'm going to go VFR at this time. Tower experimental 8 Lima November, 3000.
Experimental 918, Lima November, Yuma Tower, enter left downwind runway 35. Correction, transition through the Delta to the south.
Alright, transition the Delta to Somerton, 8 Lima November. And can we get a lower altitude? Yeah. And tower 8 Lima November, can we descend to a lower altitude this time?
Terminal 8 Lima November, maintain present altitude for traffic at 12 o'clock, 3 miles northwestbound at 900, and climbing is a Skyhawk.
Roger, 8 Lima November. Car beat is on. Fills up property, make sure it's just car beat is on. Airspeed is trim set. That's like I said, that's the way I found it best, is 1 notch down. I can just kind of hold it right here at about 73 knots. Perfect. Somerton traffic experimental 8 Lima, returning final, runway 35 full stop, Somerton. Sumner traffic experimental 8 Lima November, back taxi runway 35 Summer.
Hey everybody, so we just finished up with Flight 4 and I gotta say that was probably where I'm really starting to get the feel for flying IFR at this point. I mean, this time was the first time I was able to really fully execute an approach. Now, it wasn't to perfection by any stretch of the imagination, but it was the first time I was able to fly all the way from the basically the final approach point all the way down, following all the altitudes, hitting all of the time points that I was expecting. And really, I was able to do that. Now, you didn't see that on camera because, well, what happened was for some reason the audio cut out, and so I wasn't able to really have all that after I reviewed it. So I came back in here to Yuma, and we were going to do a second approach, which was going to be the VOR 17. We went to go do the procedure turn, and the airspace was just too congested to allow us to do it. So I was vectored straight into Somerton. That being said, I'm starting to really get the hang of it and starting to feel out and really understand what I'm trying to do for all of this training. Now, moving forward, the next things we need to do, because all the approaches we've done have been non-precision approaches, basically timed events down to altitudes. So the next thing we need to do is I need to be exposed to precision approaches. Here in Yuma, we have two different precision approaches. We can either do an ILS approach into runway 21, or there's actually what's called a PAR, which is where they have radar and they use radar vector to precisely align you up with the runway on glide slope. So I'm going to be able to try both of those out and get some exposure to those here in the very near future. Now, that being said, without the help of my sponsors, I wouldn't be able to keep this type of content going at the pace I'm providing it for you guys. One of the big supporters of this is GRT Avionics. What I love about GRT Avionics is they've built their business and everything they're doing around guys like me, guys who want a lot of capability in the panel, but don't really have the budget to buy these high-priced, EFIS systems, spending $10,000, $20,000. They're providing a good quality product made in the USA, and again, based around guys like me that are flying on a budget and really love affordable aviation. And as you've seen what I've got in the panel, I've got roughly about $4,500 all up to get this level of panel with the capability I need to fly and do my instrument training. So if you guys are looking for good avionics, go to grtavionics.com, check out what they have, because I believe they may have a panel that's right for you. But till next time, this is me, Larry Nelson, telling you guys, get in the sky and on projects like this, get in the garage, get building so that you too can get up in the air and enjoy aviation, and again, affordable aviation. And again, talk to you guys next time.